What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s as we look at my number 3 fighter in the 175-pound light heavyweight division. He is the WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Smith Jr. Now, Joe Smith entered the year coming off of a fantastic 2020. He was one of the few fighters in 2020 that flourished, that really came out of nowhere. You know, he was coming off of a 2019 where, you know, in March of 2019, he fought Dimitri Bivol and got his ass whipped. Like 12 one-sided rounds, almost got stopped in that fight. And, you know, it looked bleak that he could bounce back from that. And, you know, he went out against Jesse Hart, who's a very good super middleweight contender, and he defeated Jesse Hart by what should have been a blowout 10-round decision. But for some reason, the judges came back with I think it was a majority decision win for Smith, but the rightful winner was declared. And then he followed that up. He was allowed to join a 4-man box-off to determine the next WBO champion after Canelo Alvarez vacated the belt. And he went out against Eliter Alvarez, who was considered to be the favorite to win the whole thing and a former champion. And he beat the shit out of Eliter Alvarez in 2020 and dominated him, stopped him in the 9th round, and put himself in position for another title shot. And that title shot finally came in April of 2021 when he would challenge Maxim Vlasov for the vacant WBO light heavyweight championship of the world. And Joe Smith went out there and fought his ass off. He fought hard. It was a good back and forth battle between the two. But at the end of the day, when the smoke cleared, Joe Smith Jr. would capture his first world title by a close 12-round majority decision as he, held up his first world title. That was huge for him. But he tried to get a title defense against Umar Salimov before the end of the year. That didn't pan out, and he had to settle for scheduling an optional defense that was supposed to take place against Callum Johnson on January 15th last weekend, and instead he had to fight some guy named I think Stephen Geffrard or something like that, and he defeated Geffrard by a 9th round TKO. So he's the only guy that has fought this year that's in my top 10s. And fought this year so far. And, that was a nice win. And now moving forward into 2022 after that victory, we're going to see what possibly could be going on for him. Now, his stat sheet is a good one. He's last year he was number 3, so he remains in the same spot. He's 32 years old, so a solid veteran now, and looking to capitalize on being a world champion. He's 27-3 with 21 knockouts, so still a dangerous power puncher. Only has a couple losses on his resume, so he's good to go. And then, like as I said, he just got a victory over Steve Geffrard, a 9th round knockout. So as he heads into 2022, right now he's supposed to have a mandatory due against Anthony Yard. Yard defeated Lyndon Arthur in December, stopped him in their rematch, and got his revenge, and is supposed to be in line for Joe Smith Jr., but the co-promoter for Joe Smith Jr., I think it's Joe DeGuardia, came out and said that that's not locked in stone yet, because right now it appears that a unification bout with Artur Beterbiev is a possibility. But again, Joe Smith Jr. is also in the Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes. You know, that's the thing, is Canelo, we don't know what's going to happen. Anywhere between 168 and 200 pounds, Canelo is affecting every 4 different weight classes. There's middleweights that want to come up to super middleweight and fight him. There's super middleweights that want to fight him. There's light heavyweights that want to fight him. And there's a fight that impacts him up at cruiserweight, 200 pounds. So right now, Joe Smith is part of that whole scenario. Like, and basically nobody's going to move until Canelo decides what he wants to do next. And his next fight's going to be Cinco de Mayo weekend in May. Right now, it's up in the air whether he stays at super middleweight and defends against Jermall Charlo, or if he moves up to cruiserweight and takes on Ilunga Makabu to try to become a champion in a 5th weight class and be the first Mexican to do that. So Joe Smith is impacted by that. Right now he's waiting around to see. Personally, I don't feel like Canelo's going to choose a light heavyweight next. I don't think he's fighting Joe Smith. He already won that title. It wouldn't make sense for him to fight Joe Smith next. And, you know, and it's only for one belt that he's already held. I really don't see him doing that. I don't see him fighting Artur Beterbiev either, who's in optional mode right now. Beterbiev does not have to make any mandatories right now. He's good to go. So I firmly believe that Joe Smith and Artur Beterbiev, as long as the WBO allows them to fight, which right now the governing bodies are working together, as long as the WBO does not order Yard and Joe Smith Jr., I really believe Joe Smith's going to fight Artur Beterbiev. But if that happens, I'm going to be honest, I don't think Joe Smith Jr. is going to beat Artur Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is going to break him down and stop him. But Joe Smith does have a good punch and a puncher's chance to pull off that upset. But also a fight with Anthony Yard, I think it's going to be a really good scrap between the two, but I'm not sure Joe Smith can get by Anthony Yard either, so we got to wait and see. But should be good. Whatever Joe Smith does, it should be good, should be entertaining. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next, and we just got to wait and see what happens. So that's what I got on my number 3 light heavyweight in the world right now at 175 pounds, the reigning WBO light heavyweight champion, Joe Smith Jr. of the United States. And that's my 2021 year-end top 10s continue. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.